Well, hello everybody. Well, here I am back playing Pokemon Blue. And I got a really masculine sounding voice right now, so I'd figure I'd go and tell you what I'm all about now. Now is something different. You see, back in the past, I called Sandshrew Shrushi. It's a good name. I figure I just talk live because I get distracted. I figure I just can't talk live because I get distracted and usually fail to figure out what to say. With that said, I'm gonna go and talk in a way that makes me feel a bit more comfortable so I can eloquate my thoughts in a very, eloquent manner. Such as now. This game footage was recorded in May, so I can't remember everything I thought, as my avatar is doing things that I don't care about anymore, so I can't really talk for him anymore. But look! We're in Cerulean City now. Can you believe we made it this far? Cerulean is my favorite city. Like, can you just hear that beautiful tune to go with it? Look, there's the gym. Wonderful gym. There's a sign, and it says a mysterious blue aura surrounds it. The placement of the city is also something I really find so lovely. Just where they put the gym, and the Pokemon Center, and the other houses, and the little hills to jump off of. It's great. And I'm going into the Pokemon Center once again. It's not going to be the last time, definitely not, and I'm going to have to keep going. So, the color tones are also beautiful. Look at those color tones. And I really think Cerulean it tugs at my nostalgia goggles, man. Because, like I said before, the first 4 gym leader levels give me that feeling of mild, small, optimistic adventure. It's so hard to explain, but I'm trying my best. Also, they're talking about Bill Nye the Science Guy. Now look, if they had a little parody like a Pokemon Abridged, like they do with Dragon Ball and all that stuff. Are you Bill the Science Guy? I mean, look, he puts Pokemon on a PC. And here's where we are introduced to that kind of little story arc. It still says someone's PC. What are we going to find out later on? So, we have Apocalypse, Bird, Defoy, Galahad, Mrs. Higsby, Zapdos. We're going to change a few of these, I presume, because I played this in May and I can't remember exactly what I've been doing. But let's see what this video will entail. Are we going to withdraw? Are we going to do something? What? Maybe I should talk a little bit more about Pokemon. Okay, Defoy's gone. Our beautiful Beedrill. Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shrushi, who's our wonderful new addition. But I think we're taking Rocksteady because I think we're going to have to start to level up Rocksteady, who is, of course, a Geodude, for the next battle after Misty, which is Lieutenant Surge. So anyway, there's been a few things that have been happening since May, and I should probably address those before we move on. And even though I'm looking at the screen, it's a little distracting, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. What I'm talking about now will not affect what I'm talking about in the screen. Hopefully I'll be able to talk about that later. So not too long ago, they're releasing what I've been telling my friends for like 2 years already. The original Pokemon games in red, blue, and yellow on the 3DS. Wow, that sounds great. And they did exactly what one of my first suggestions would have been. Changing the trading and battling from link cable, which wouldn't work on a 3DS anyway, to wireless to function on the 3DS. That's just like, I couldn't believe it. I even made a graphic demonstrating what I really wanted, and it's partially happening. Look at that right there. Why partially? Well, they didn't exactly say if it would run online, just on local wireless, so it's kind of a deal breaker for me. I was actually quite excited enough to buy 1 or 2 of them myself, but after it not being directly stated if it will be online or just local, I assume it's going to be virtual console, so I guess it's going to be local, and therefore, never mind, I'll pass on that. But I'll continue playing the old emulator instead. Actually, I was thinking of maybe not playing on the emulator and waiting until February for the virtual console to come out. Not show you what I was playing anyway, but is it going to be Super Game Boy colors like what I have? Is it going to have filtered graphics like what I have right here with this old man talking about these badges? You know, gonna have to wait, and if it's not like that, then don't think it's really that important for me. So, yeah, I mean, it's still a nice thing to see. You know, someone's finally looking back at the past and not just rewriting it, like for some remakes, like for the remakes for the GBA, which are completely fine by themselves, and you know, really nice. I played it once. It's great. I like that remake on the GBA, Fire Red Leaf Green. But I'm not a big fan of seeing Tuna, also known as Remake Red, showing up on all the guides and games from there on after, you know, like, and also being on Smash, and you know, instead of just, you know, they could have just gone directly to the classic Red, the one that Kensuke Mori drew. It looks a little bit like Ash, but hey, who cares? This is how it was supposed to look like, and I would have liked that better. So showing up on, you know, so I'm not a big fan of revisionism in that case, like revisionism in the long run, but this new classic game is really nice to see, getting back on Virtual Console. So I did actually have a better idea. So when I was thinking about this in the years prior, instead of having like a direct new remake, which what they did, you know, which people are asking for again for a new 3DS Red and Blue, but instead they could have just done something like this. So nothing too fancy, just that it would be a lot easier to rebuild the old 8-bit Game Boy game to a new engine. So we rebuilt the entire game with the same graphics, but with a new engine, and, you know, imitate it as much as possible. And then use a submenu on the touchscreen section to manage the game settings, and of course transfer the Pokemon into your storage in this game to the Pokemon Bank. Is that what it's called? Pokemon Bank? Pokebank? Something like that? And to the newer games. So I think that kind of combination would have been absolutely cool and a little bit more unique. And also you would get a wider depth of field to view on the screen on the 3DS. And, you know, other customizable features, and maybe even game rules to tamper with, maybe change the generation updates so you can play Red and Blue in its classic format, but with the new changes that they updated from Generation 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, or anything. So it's kind of like that's kind of what I was expecting, and I think I was expecting a little bit too much. And of course, if you're going to rebuild the entire thing, you could also have a 3D option, so we'd have kind of like a card game 3D option. I have no idea what this guy is doing on the screen. I think I'm looking for the hidden item, which is going to be in gold and silver. But yeah, I think I'm going to challenge Misty, or I'm going to talk to this dude. I could have talked about, you know, Cerulean City this whole time, but I think this is a little bit more interesting and up to the time. So yeah, Mario Maker, kind of slight Mario Maker Lite for Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow might be a cool idea. Yeah, alright, sorry if I don't jabber on and on and on and on, but, you know, trying to get in the zone again. You know, I want to get this finished. You know, you want to finish what you started, and it doesn't matter how it takes to get on with it, as long as you get on with it. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, Swimmer, he sends out Horsey. We have Apocalypse, he's back, and, well, there we go. Horsey is another nice Pokemon that I like a lot. Pokemon, I guess you would say, not Pokemon. It has a wonderful design, as you can definitely tell. I think this is one of the good examples of what a Pokemon design should entail. It looks like an animal, like you know exactly what it's based off of, but it has that simplicity, that color definition, that shape definition, and even though its eyes are quite strange, but you know, you've seen an actual Seahorse's eyes and you know that it looks like death. And in this case it doesn't. It's very cute, very nice, and look at that. Can you believe how terrible Zapdos is? I think grinding will be a good thing to be doing, but I don't know, because I recorded this in May. So yeah, Pokemon Remake. No, not remake, the 3DS thing. So distracting, so distracting. So if it's not color, like this, if you can't choose the different colors, I'm not too interested, but I'm so happy to have it actually show up, you know? That's what's great about it. Finally, you know, we get the originals showing up a little bit. Showing some love to the originals, it's so nice. So yeah, well, they're battling. You want to talk about some other up-to-the-times Pokemon news? Well, I actually went and, imagine this, watched a whole marathon of my own Pokemon retrospective videos. Huh. It's been years. Like, I haven't seen those in years. I was too scared to watch them for all those years. Very nervous. Very embarrassed. Until I actually watched them again. All of them. After finding an archive DVD I have, with all the episodes, hey, I was impressed. It was actually not half bad. Sorry to sound like I'm congratulating myself, but it was 5 years ago, and I wondered if they held up. I really did. Turns out the only thing I didn't really like was the editing and pacing. You know, it's quite slow. Pretty slow. A friend of mine actually mentioned that way back when I was doing them. Yeah, that's all I have to say. If you watch it at 2x speed, it's pretty good. And so, yeah, he was exactly right. Exactly right. So, yeah, so now I know what you think of it, and I couldn't be happier to know that you're still sticking around and hopefully liking at least a little of it. It's just really encouraging and really touching, and I'm so happy. Thanks, guys. Really, I'm really happy you think it was good. And even though my subscribers, you know, they all went to the subscriber count, you know, just keeps dying, going to hell. But hey, you know, it's really nice to know. I really know what you mean now, and I'm very appreciative. Even though I don't do what other people do, because, you know, to me, like, Pokemon is just sort of like a sort of a kick. You know, when I was a kid, and I really liked the ideas, and I like what it's about, the design, I like the open feeling, and it also is a big nostalgic thing. That's why I go back to it occasionally, and therefore, that's why I can't ever update it, because... Not update it, like, I can't update as frequently as other people do, you know, because it's not my #1 thing, but occasionally I get into the kick. Like now, like, I just really wanted to see those Game Boy graphics again, and the blue, and the colors, and evil Aaron here. Aaron. And I think in this video, I'm just gonna get slaughtered. I'm gonna get destroyed by Aaron. And again, I thought I was doing a great job being a great Pokemon trainer. And I'm not, so rock steady. Rock steady. We'll see if he does anything. He's not doing very much, but I'll tell you that as a kid, when I first played, you know, this game, but granted it was Pokemon Yellow, you know, rented from Blockbuster with magenta Game Boy Color, but I did first encounter Blue here, the rival. And him having his big, fat Pidgeotto, as we can see right here, it was a surprise. I remember seeing Pidgeotto in the Pokemon anime and having those lovely Tommy action figures, which are the first things I collected. But hey, look at that sprite! Look at it, it's so round and big! I didn't see these guys before the game, and so the tension was on. And do you see that? Zapdos just destroyed. Unbelievable. My Pokemon are losers. This never happened to me when I was a kid. Never, I was the best. Maybe? Those are my nostalgia goggles talking. Who knows? And we defeat a level 18 Pidgeotto. This thing is a machine. Or either Mrs. Higsby is a piece of crap. I mean, what? Come on, Mrs. Higsby, you a mouse! Well, that's not a good idea. Predator, Raptors, not a very good combination. So anyway, I really like Pidgeotto's little tuna peach colored top. That was nice. And, oh yeah, okay, so this is a big issue. I really get it when people like to compare the old Pokemon with the new ones, like where Pidgey has a name like a pigeon, Pigeon, but has absolutely nothing to do in common, or have anything in common with a real-life pigeon, and therefore it was bloody amazing for everybody that Pidove shows up, and oh look, actually looks like a pigeon! You know, what I'm going to talk about, it's kind of my opinion on this. So, first off, Pidove, it's great. I love Pidove. Pidove, the design is a little geometric, a little perfect looking for my taste, but hey, love seeing new bird varieties. Pidove is a nice addition to the Pokemon family. But it's not a fair argument comparing Pidove to Pidgey in how much they resemble a real-life animal. The point to me was always to make them feel like a real-life animal and conform to a simplistic design that hits certain aesthetics that the first generation introduced, so it's a middle ground sweet spot. All this stuff is, of course, as all design and art is, subjective, but I felt people should know how I judge what constitutes a design design in the Pokemon world based on my impressions and experiences playing Pokemon as a kid. And onward, so Abra. Now, Abra is a Pokemon that sort of became like a prized sort of possession for me because I love Psychic and Ghost types. I used to like Fire types, but you know, it's just Charizard, that's what I realized. But you know, Psychic and Ghost, that was sort of my main thing. So Abracadabra, Alakazam, those were the ones that I really, really wanted to get. And it's so great that they actually put Abra in this party that Blue has, or Aaron in this case, because he can't do anything, right? He's just doing teleport. And so it's just giving you a taste of what Abra will be able to do later when it evolves. And I always like that sort of stuff. And Abra's design and Kadabra's design, again, it is an abstract design. There's nothing that resembles this in real life. But I can't help it. It works, but it's an odd design, but it works. I think it's the eyes, you know? That's the sort of thing that sort of made everything come together. And it's only my opinion, it's subjective. And there's a Rattata that's as high a level as my best Pokemon. Why is Aaron so good at this? What's his problem? Use Tail Whip, Galahad. Destroy it. You've done it before. We went through grinding missions. You know, it's like boot camp for poor Pokemon that I capture and enslave to my will and force to fight others. Come on. Tail Whip. Go. Anyway, there's this... let's see, let me think. There's certain features to a Pokemon's design. Pokemon's design that makes me feel. Look at that, Galahad is dying. I don't think I'm gonna win this, so I'm just gonna talk over this and, you know, make people hate me more. These designs make me feel like it works in the pre-established Pokemon world. Go Rocksteady. So these certain features that work in the design, they were all good. They worked in harmony. The first 151, in my opinion, did that. But then the Pokemon franchise evolved and changed. I keep saying Pokemon. It changed direction to something, as you guys should know by now, I wasn't very excited about. But of course, plenty of you liked it, or have no problems with it whatsoever. That is cool as beans, clear as crystal, all good. Don't worry about it. But if there was a way to explain why I get so critical over Pokemon designs that are post-Gold and Silver, and to be honest, I had a hard time coping with the Gold-Silver Pokemon as a kid too. Gradually, I did accept how the designs looked like, but then there was always a sort of rift between the old ones and the new ones, and I never kind of melded them together. Even though I do accept the new Pokemon from Gold and Silver as well, but in a different way. So I would totally try to attempt to explain what my criteria is, but the problem is that it would take a lot of time, and I honestly don't have that to make an elaborate video and stuff like that right now, because I'm doing a bunch of different things, and I'm just doing this because, you know, I love talking about Pokemon sometimes. You get that kick, you know what I'm saying? That's a kick sound. There we go, that's a better one. But I don't have that time, so we're just gonna see this poor orange apocalypse get destroyed by Bulbasaur. But since we have a lot of time in the Let's Play and I don't have to do much, I might be able to explain myself as well on this, as, you know, not too bad. Leech Seed, huh? And Vine Whip, and it's out for the count. So, that Bulbasaur sprite, though, it's goofy. I like it, how bubbly it is.
Yeah, am I great or what?
Cool guy is done. He blacked out. And later ones, they say whited out, don't they? Back to Cerulean. Love that city. And we're going to replace a few Pokemon here. Or not, I don't know. I played this in May, I don't remember anything. Look, the gym is a plus size compared to Brock's. No one explained that to me at all, but whatever, we're here, we have to fight this lass. I'm more good. I'm
more than good enough for you.
Misty can wait. Oh, it's on. Ooh. Hey, it's a junior trainer, female. I actually tried drawing a picture of her in 2013 and I failed, and I tried doing it again like last year, and yeah, I didn't finish it. Kind of odd. I like the design. I like how she looks like she's like whoosh. And she's got a nice little camping uniform on, which I always found very amusing. So, and that's, again, what I talk about the design. It's very down to earth, very earthy. There isn't any extravagant, strange fashion things going on. It's just a camper, and the design of the camping uniform is what the Pokémon universe, does. So anyway, I think our Pokemon are going to be strong enough, especially Zapdos, to defeat the camper and her Goldeen, which is another Pokemon that we just were able to be introduced to. I like that sound. Maybe that should be a ringtone. Yeah. So I think we're gonna have to go grinding after this because, of course, Aaron's the problem. Yay! Yeah! Dun, 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 dun.
You overwhelmed me. I will avenge Father.
I don't know what I'm talking about. For some reason, it's staying there for a long time. Okay! You have to face other trainers to find out how good you really are. Yeah, I just faced you, and you've been defeated, m'lady. Alright, so now we're going to Misty. And we all know Misty because she is a prominent character in the Pokemon anime, so we all know her personality. The design, though, is very different to her game counterpart, and I really, really wish there was some kind of making-of book, to read, to find out what made them change the characters to look so much for the show as opposed to the game, as we see here, where a swimming and water enthusiast, as she is, she just has a two-piece swimsuit. Very simple. Hey, Ken Sugimori tweeted some old papers of the original drawings for the sprites. Oh man, and it was so wonderful to be able to see it in higher res. And the original drawings, it's so great. I love seeing that stuff, and I wish there was more of that behind-the-scenes Pokemon stuff. And I wish Ken Sugimori could, be a cool dude and maybe scan those. That would be nice. I would love to see them. It's so amazing. So great to see. Anyway, she does kind of look angry, and, as a kid, I drew Misty with the swimsuit, and there's Staryu, which everybody would probably argue with me, and I don't want to turn this into a, design war sort of thing. But, yeah, there's something about elemental kinds of Pokemon, these abstract, like Sea Star, sure, but it also doesn't look like a natural thing. It looks very mechanical, it looks very alien, which some people do think that Staryu and Starmie are both kind of aliens, which, completely fine, adequate idea. But there is a certain point where you can say, Staryu, yes, weird Pokemon. Mr. Mime, yes, that's the weirdest of them all, but, in the original ones. But there can have been, they're magical creatures, and there can be room for strange-looking ones, as long as they don't sort of have too many of them. And that's kind of that's one of those balancing acts that, for me, subjectively speaking, is part of the Pokemon design thing. So anyway, I drew Misty as a kid in 1999. Zapdos has been destroyed, which is definitely no good. But let's hope Mrs. Higsby picks up the slack and gets that Staryu. Anyway, I drew Misty when I was a kid. Here it is. Pretty interesting. Do you see the picture? Wonderful. I think some people saw that already. I do like the badge that I made as an insert, and of course it is a masterclass of anatomy. Wonderfully done. Thank you very much. Look at me. It's like I'm playing, but I'm actually clapping my hands. How's that possible? Anyway, what else can you say? Bird. Bird is still... Look at him. Magnifique. Bird, you are wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much for allowing me to call you Bird. Now, Starmie, look at that sprite. I'm going to talk about sprites all the time. It is a scary image. Like, you're looking at this. What is this elemental beast that's going to destroy my party? I wasn't terrified. I knew about Starmie, but they always looked a little bit scary and oppressive, and Bird is dead. Hey, guys, I don't know what I was gonna say there. Go Galahad!
Yeah! Squirtle, Galahad.
Look at that, X Defend. Now that's introducing you to other, deeper ways of enhancing the Pokemon battle system in a subtle way. And like I said about Abra, back then when we were fighting Aaron, it gives you hints, it suggests things, it doesn't walk you through it, and that's what I like about these old games. And they probably did those because they didn't have any other option. They hoped that you would explore every crevasse, every nook and cranny of the games to get the full experience, which is a valid thing, right? You're playing it to, you're playing it to get... I'm getting worried. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. I think it's gonna be grinding time, and I think we're gonna be done for this session of Pokemon and me talking about it and losing money at the same time. Misty took it. Gary took it. I keep calling him Gary.
Gary!
That's not how Gary sounds. And I'm gonna have to buy stuff, and I'm gonna have to go and do some grinding, so yeah, I'll catch you later. Hey, it's Christmas! Merry Christmas! Or Happy Boxing Day if you're watching this a little bit later. Hey!